Thank you, Randy Collins, for that introduction. I do want to extend our thoughts and prayers to Dr. Reeves. The reason he's out of town is his mom has fallen and broken her hip, and she's recently had surgery. And so instead of caring for her in rehab, she's at home, and the family's taking shifts and turns. So I know he will appreciate your thoughts and your prayers coming their way. As Randy said, I am the Associate Superintendent for Surry County Schools, and I thank you for joining today. I do have a few updates just to let you know what's been going on in Surry County Schools since early COVID. In early February, we began to be very concerned of what that would mean for our children in our schools and in our community with families. So we began to think about worst case scenarios. But that quickly led us up until March, and not sure if you knew it or not, but most of you would, that in early March, the week of March 9th, we were on spring break. And that meant that our students and our families and our staff were spread out everywhere. So it became a very interesting week for us because the world and the nation and our state and our local community began to change very rapidly. So Dr. Reeves put together a task force made up of district level leaders, and we began to make decisions during that week about how this would affect our children and our schools and their families in our community. That was a very challenging week for us, trying to decide what that would look like. But with the Surry County Board of Education approval, Dr. Reeves had recommended that we extend our spring break an additional week. And he made that call on March 13th so that we would have time to get make an assessment locally of, where had people been? People could have been out of state, they could have been out of the country, and that was very concerning to us. So we locally were going to extend spring break an additional week and close, and made that decision on March 13th. But if you remember the day like we do, it was March 14th that our state governor actually announced that schools would be closed until May 15th. So our worlds began to change very, very rapidly. And one of the things that happened in that is we had 1,000 students, and those students and families who were food insecure and had been out already for a week and now extended period, what were we going to do? And fortunately, there are waivers for school nutrition that came from the federal government and the state, so that in an emergency situation, we could begin feeding children. We've called that our grab and go service for our kids. And that is a service to feed any child or young adult ages 0 to 18. And I think that's very important to know, that anybody ages 0 to 18 can go to any of our 14 feeding sites and receive food for free. It's very important to note also that when they pick up food at midday, they're picking up lunch for that day, but they're picking up breakfast for the next day also. So every time they pick up a meal or a meal is delivered, they're getting two. So if families can get to our feeding sites, they're coming to us. If they can't get to the feeding sites, we're taking food out on our yellow buses and going to community stops, and in some cases to home stops to folks who just can't get to it. So I'm proud to tell you that as of yesterday, and this is a great number for me to share, as of yesterday, we have provided 226,807 meals.
Wow.
Since
That's
March
amazing.
16th. That is amazing, Randy, and a big shout out to our school nutrition director, Sherry Parks, and her staff. Those people have been on the front lines every single day since March 16th, making sure that we're able to feed children and families. So we're very proud of that, and still very concerned, making sure that folks who are food insecure have what they need. Secondary to that goal of making sure that children were fed and cared for, we started thinking about instruction and being able to continue school in whatever that has meant. And so we've called it our emergency remote learning plan. And with that, we've provided digital resources to students and families, and or delivered packets to families that could not get access or can't get access to the digital materials in their homes. We also have deployed around 2,000 laptops to families who have said, we do have Wi-Fi access, but we don't have a device for a child. And so about 2,000 devices have been picked up. With that, we've had to set up a tech helpline. Our technicians are running that. They're taking the calls straight to their homes, and they're dealing with the tech helpline that way. And they can also get tech support by bringing the machines back to the schools, and our technicians pick them up from there and repair them if there's anything that's not working properly. Our local partners, also some internet partners, have provided some additional internet to homes, to families in our community. And Surry Communications has actually put hotspots around our county at Ruritan clubs, at the Masonic lodges, at some fire departments in some remote areas, so some families can use those as hotspots. We're very pleased with those partnerships and very thankful for them. I'll just say too that the challenge has been for us as educators is staying connected to our customers, our children. Our children are our clients and our customers every day, and having over 7,000 of them and their families, that's been a struggle. But I want to brag just a minute on our teachers and our principals. They're on the phone or on the computer, meeting with students and families and making those connections every day. The relationships that kids develop with adults in the school buildings are very, very important, and we find how valuable they are when something's taken away. You really figure out how valuable it is. There was a student this week that Paige Badgett, the principal at North Surry, wanted to reach out to, so she called the kid's mom, and the kid's mom said, well, I really don't know where he is right now, but here's his cell phone number, you can try him. And he answered the call of his principal, and that meant a lot to us in that story, because school means so much, and so our kids are missing a lot right now. Our seniors, our high school kids are mourning right now, school and being with their friends. So I'm just really proud that we have been focusing on relationships and the social emotional learning components for all of our students and our families. I will also say, in these unprecedented times, it has been evident more than ever how important our strength is as we work collectively together. We're stronger together, and we do appreciate Dr. Kim Morrison with Mount Airy City Schools and Dr. Myra Cox with Elkin City Schools and all of our peer leaders within our 3 districts. We're working very collaboratively together, and we're very thankful for our partnerships and our relationships during this time. We're also very appreciative of a lot of local donors who have donated to our backpack program. The backpack program is supplemental to our feeding program, but that's also meaning that children who are food insecure are receiving backpacks for the weekends and for times when they can't get to the feeding sites. So lots of community partners have been giving money and donations, and that's what we need right now, are folks to continue to donate to the backpack program so that we can buy the food that's needed. I'll just leave you all with this one thought too. I don't know if you've seen a part of our slogan for Surry County Schools, but we have a covenant with our students, and it's called Promise for All. And that all is very important to us, and right now more than ever, of how we're reaching all of our students and all of our families and serving them all together. So we thank you, Chamber, for inviting us here today to give you a little update on Surry County Schools, but this is where we are right now. We are looking to the governor to make some additional decisions, as you said, Randy, about
Right.
stay at home and about school, and some additional guidance from the state board about what school's going to look like for the rest of the year too. So thank you all.
Well, appreciate that, Jill, and hats off to you and everyone at the Surry County Public Schools for what you do every day. I didn't mention it, but, and before I forget, if you have questions for Jill, you can type them in the chat here, or we'll make sure to get your questions answered. But I personally, my family and I saw the Surry County Public Schools up close, and my son graduated in 2018 from East Surry High School. Just, you know, an amazing experience for a kid that came in as a freshman not knowing a soul. We were new people in 2015, and he had a incredible experience, and is now, I think, very much thanks to those people, now a freshman, albeit long distance, to Appalachian State, and they prepared him well for university and college life. So Jill, thank you, and Dr. Reeves and your team. I also know Dr. Lewis is with us as well. Tracy Lewis is with us. It's good to see you too, and a big part of the team there. So one of the questions that's come up, Jill, is how can a business make a donation to the backpack program?
So you can donate through our educational foundation, and that would be found directly on our website, and a means to be able to do that. Or I will be happy to take your information and then provide that back out to you if I could help you that way also. But that would be a link on our website to our educational foundation. Ashley Mills, our foundation director, is handling all of that for us.
Great. I know Pat Gwyn from the library also said, we're excited that Tracy Lewis will be helping us get information out about the library's summer program through Peach Jar. So I don't know whether Pat or Tracy want to speak on what that program is.
Generally, we would have a staff member who goes out and visits all the libraries, all the schools that we serve in the county and the city, and hand out all the information about our summer program, which usually has a response for about 400 to 500 children. And since we can't go into the schools and do that now, we contacted Tracy, and she said, as part of this email program that you have implemented, that she would be glad to include our information, which really makes me happy because we know it will get to them. When we leave flyers with kids, we never know what happens out of those backpacks when they get home. So we anticipate and have a great response with your help, and we certainly do appreciate